Hey everyone, my name's Walter, and we're back here to talk about neckbeards once again. That's right, those bearded gentlemen who eat chicken tendies and always tell milady which anime to be watching. Anyway, as usual, my content is mostly stolen from Reddit. And this story comes to us from Reddit Neckbeard Stories, the place where you too can leave all your stories. With such absolute classics as I kicked a neckbeard I knew in the nuts, and high school neckbeard eats ungodly amounts of ramen, preaches nihilist philosophy, and plays with katanas. I might consider both of those some other day, but today's story is called Neckbeard Gets Angry That I Won't Break Up With My Girlfriend So He Can Have a Chance With Her. Sounds reasonable. I ran into Neckbeard the other day behind a counter at 7-Eleven. Thank God he was working. Anyway, it sparked some memories I had with this Neckbeard since we went to high school together. Figured I would share the best, by means of cringe, memory I have. Back in high school, I was a bit of a nerd. Loved Nintendo, Pokemon, Zelda, Kingdom Hearts, some animes, mostly shows like Fruits Basket, but enjoy the hell out of Full Metal Alchemist and a couple action ones. But I had enough interest in other things that I was never really labeled as a nerd. Neckbeard was, well, Neckbeard. Anime was life, thought he was wide as a puddle, deep as an ocean. Unfortunately, it was more wide as an ocean, deep as a puddle. Hygiene wasn't on the top of his priorities either. And I'm sure if the Joker came out in 2010, he would have identified with him. Well, during our senior year, I would skip high school to sneak into classes at the local college to see what college life would be like and to get a head start. Yeah, could you imagine skipping school to go to another school? How studious. My favorites would be the music classes. I love music, learning to play, write, music theory, etc. This is important because Neckbeard, who was into metal, wanted to start a band. So he begged his mother to buy him a guitar and amp. She did it, and Neckbeard came up to me the next day with his guitar covered in black permanent marker and a couple of edgy stickers, wanting to know if I want to join his new band called Soldiers of the Damned. Internally, I was angry at the mistreatment of the guitar, but laughing at his proposal and his getup. Trench coat, black sweatpants, top hat, and corn t-shirt. I asked him if he knew how to play yet, since it's hard to start a band when you don't know how to play anything. You know, you'd think it'd be abnormal to start a band without knowing how to play, but I've actually seen it a million times. Soldiers of the Damned, though, hell yeah! So he shows me a basic scale, and I ask him to play a song. Naturally, he didn't know any, and that's when I was calm enough to notice the guitar wasn't tuned. So I convince him to hand it over so I can fix the problem. Tuned, I play I Can Go the Distance from Hercules. That's when a friend of mine, her name for the story will be Amy, comes up and asks for another song. I play another. And the day goes by. I'm not sure if this is when the milady bug hit Neckbeard, but I'm willing to bet it was close. He puts on the old Neckbeard charm, complimenting her beauty, her eyes, her hair, you get it, and asked her out for that very evening, despite only kind of knowing her. She turns him down politely and informs Neckbeard that her and I already had a date planned for that night. I'm pretty sure he went home to write some poorly put together poem about heartbreak. Soon after that date, Amy and I went steady. And Neckbeard was upset, I am sure. He kept pestering me to join his band and kept showing me the new things he learned, like an ecstatic schoolboy who found $1 on the road. But I had no interest in joining. It wasn't my cup of tea. Eventually I broke down and decided to at least help him progress with his ambition. He had only 2 rules. A, he has to be the leader of the band. That's fine, I kept telling him I only wanted to help teach, not join. Not sure why he thought to bring up that rule. B, Amy had to be there. She consented and was fine by me. She wanted to see anyway. And I didn't have too much free time during the week for it to be just her and I. During our breaks at practice, we would nerd a little and play Yu-Gi-Oh! Dude took as much care of his cards as he did his guitar. Now off to the climax. Hey, don't you find that rule B in and of itself to be a bit of a red flag? Oh, here we go. Someone named Autistic Anal has asked the burning question. He only wanted you to help when your girlfriend was around? Didn't strike you as odd? Also, early on he mentioned that he was contemplating asking her out again if things didn't work out between you guys. And you gave this dude music lessons for free for months following that? What the fuck, dude? Yeah, in hindsight I would have just said no from the start, but high school kids aren't always the brightest bulbs in the box. My girlfriend and the post both kinda thought it was kinda weird, but thought that having a girl around would help him be less awkward around women. We both regretted it soon after this all exploded. But like they say, hindsight is 20/20. These lessons only lasted a few months. Senior year was ending, and I was working on getting into college. Amy and I both did, but because of conflicting schedules, we spent a little less time together, but we stayed together. One day she gives me a call, and in angry tears. I ask what's wrong, and she told me about Neckbeard's constant texting and calling, confessing his love, and how happy they would be together if she just gave him a chance. In tears, she begs me to talk to him, to try and get it through his head that it wasn't going to happen. I calm her down and hang up to call Neckbeard. I'm angry for a couple of reasons. He's been bugging my girlfriend for what sounded like weeks, maybe even months, but also because early on in our relationship, Neckbeard actually asked me if he should ask her out again if things between us didn't work out. Yeah, ask your friend if you can go after his girlfriend if things don't work out. That's normal human behavior, isn't it? Who would get pissed about that? I told him no, and in no uncertain terms not to ask that again. So I called Neckbeard and asked what his problem was. Asked him did he think it was okay to hit on my girlfriend. She's taken, and her boyfriend is the guy giving him music lessons for free. His answer was basically this: I just don't get it. Why do you get to have a girlfriend and not me? You don't even know if you'll go to the same school. I could treat her better than you ever could. You just need to break up with her and give a real man a chance. So I tell him lessons are over, and that if he comes near me or Amy again, I'm calling the police. Amy and I split up a year later on friendly terms, and Neckbeard never had a chance. She's a mom of 3, and I'm working for one of the biggest global banks in the world. Neckbeard, from mutual connections, has only gotten more Neckbeards, sadly, and constantly in between jobs from inappropriate conversations with female coworkers and customers. I see him on the street from time to time, and always looking for another game of cards. Oh, I'll play, just not with him. Okay, so there's a second story, but there's not a whole lot to it. Let me just read the final paragraph, because I'd like to cover a few posts at the end. Neckbeard wanted to take a break and play some Yu-Gi-Oh! I would keep a deck on hand. Blackwings at the time, don't at me. So he's trying to put a deck together when I decided to try and break some ice. I asked him what made him want to learn a love song. His response was, I just want to get a girl to like me. Okay, not my cup of tea, but that's fine. So I asked him what kind of girl he wants. This is when things got super weird. I'm a bigger guy, so I really want a super small girl. Short and skinny. I'd take care of them like a king, and she should be super sweet and shy and quiet. We start dueling, and I notice all of his monster cards are female. Harpy ladies, magician girls, etc. I win, and I ask him what his thought process was when making the deck. They're just really cute, and kind of my idea of a real woman. And the anime talks about how it doesn't matter what cards you have. If you have a connection with them, you'll win. These are the women I want in my life, and I know I'm the kind of guy they would want. Anticlimactic, but I kind of just nodded and decided that I would lock that away and pray it never comes back to the front of my memory bank. Hey, it sounds like this man has a firm grip on the heart of the cards. Are you sure you're not typing this from the Shadow Realm or something? Yeah, making a deck out of cards you think are hot is pretty up there in terms of Neckbeard activity. Anyway, let me know what you think about this story. These guys do often try to convince girls to leave their boyfriends. Certainly not the first we've seen. Now let's read a few posts from Reddit Just Neckbeard Things before wrapping this video up. This post is entitled, This man has offered me money to pose nude at least 5 times. Hey Claire, I love your hair, look, and style by the way. I hope that all is well with you. So I was just wondering, do you model at all? Nice try, bro. I know who you are. Sure you do. Okay, I get it. You want to see me naked. I've said no like 5 times. Can we drop it? I don't get why you're saying when you'd make a fortune. You women love easy money as well and all. Wow, that's sexist. Not really, when the truthful. How are you going to tell her she loves easy money if she's saying no to it? Not like there aren't enough women on OnlyFans who'd be happy to take it, of course. Surprised my wife with a delicious dinner for our 6-month wedding anniversary. Hey, at least he said wife. Things could be slightly worse. You misunderstand. I don't make friends with women. I am friendly to them, but I don't invest into a friendship with them. I don't ever start off as just friends and then move on to liking them. I was asked hypothetically if I were friends, and then developed feelings how I would proceed. My mistake was answering without first explaining how I don't get into that situation in the first place. Yes, refusing to have female friends is definitely the fast track to getting laid, of course. Now, if I meet a woman and enjoy her company, and I become interested in a relationship, I pursue her. If she is not available or just wants to be friends, I move on. I don't want to be in a relationship with a woman where she gets her emotional needs met by me, but I do not get my needs met by her. I especially don't want to be a part of her harem of men on deck she can run to when her current relationship gets rocky. I honor my brethren and refuse to be the backup plan for their hearts to be ripped out. Ah, so he thinks a woman's circle of male friends is a harem of men on deck for her to cheat on her boyfriend with. That can't be healthy thinking. At least he won't be friend-zoned because he won't make you a friend to begin with, so there's that. It's kind of like cutting off a limb so you don't have to worry about injuring it. Maybe not the best idea. Excuse me, miss. What? I don't intend to bother you, nor take too much of your time. Even though it's probable that you get this a lot, I would like to say you are very beautiful, and if I may put stunning. You've made my digestive system the butterfly emojis. And I was curious that if a gentleman like me were to meet you outside of my dreams, would I have a fighting chance, according to my appearance, to win your heart? Oh my fucking god. Indeed, he's not selling himself very well. It's obvious that he thinks he has no chance. One more post. This is why women can't do anything in terms of protecting themselves, and why men are the protectors. They all look so sloppy trying to take control of the situation. No offense to you ladies, just a reality of the world. Yeah, it's too bad we can't see this guy. I bet he looks like a totally badass 12-year-old. Anyway, it's about all the time I have for you today. Thanks for watching, everyone. If you liked the video, please give it a like. If you have something to say about the posts or the story, let me hear it in the comments. I'm pretty selective about stories, but I definitely screw up sometimes. If you're new here and want more of the same, consider subscribing. Also, big thanks to my awesome patrons who helped me buy 4 Loko. I know, I never talk about drinking anymore. While I was in the process of making my last video, Lucas tried to leave another comment, dropping the N-word and bragging about how his parents are millionaire socialists. In case anyone wanted an update, it's really just more of the same. Well, have a great day, everyone, and remember, you've made my digestive system butterfly emojis. Or some shit.